Hello, Robbinsdale Cooper, class of 1991. It's Matt Linkert here. I hope all is well with you guys and your families, your brothers and sisters that I may have known or not known. I was not planning to go to the reunion this weekend, but for some strange reason, one of the committee members thought, well, they had asked me to speak, and so I had to refuse them as I was not going to be there. But I thought, well, maybe I could make a quick little video um, and share a few things and take a few moments of your time and take it as it is. I guess this is what I might have said if I was there the other night. I guess I'll first just tell you what happened to me after graduating from Cooper. I went all the way up north to Moorhead, Minnesota, to Concordia College, and I majored in music education. I wanted to be a band teacher for a long time before that, and so I did. 4.5 years. I went to Concordia, did my student teaching in Fargo, and then I started my life as a band teacher. And I started out in a little town called Herman Norcross, or the Herman Norcross Schools, which is between Morris and Alexandria and Fergus Falls, Minnesota. It's a little town. The town had maybe 400 people, 400, 500 people. I lived in another town called Elba Lake, which was near it. I was there for a year and a half, and then that summer I got a new position down in Lake Benton, Minnesota, which is by Marshall, Minnesota, and Brookings, South Dakota. And I was a band teacher there for 2 years. And it was about that point when I realized that small town life was just not for me. I couldn't get away from my students. They were always there in my face. They saw what I bought at the grocery store. They saw me drive out of town. They saw me come back into town. It was just kind of crazy. So I came back to the cities and I started teaching privately on private lessons, and I taught in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota. Did you know Brooklyn Center had a school district? It's really small. I never knew it was there, to be honest with you, even though I lived right there next to it most of my life. But anyway, I taught in Earl Brown Elementary for 1 year, and then I taught in Minneapolis schools for 3 years after that, and actually in North Minneapolis schools, which is really, really tough. Really, it burned me out of teaching. It was just really hard to deal with students there day after day. And it was fortunate at about this time that I met my future wife. My last year teaching in Minneapolis, I was playing in a Minneapolis band, a community band, and she played in it too, and we met. And so I was very fortunate when I said I don't think I want to teach anymore. She was very supportive, and it wasn't too long before we were getting married, and I was helping her with her dad, who was near the end of his life, needed some care, and was spending a lot of my time with that. And then things were going really fast here at this point because we were also we had gotten married, and then we were also expecting a child, our first child, and then that child ended up having Down syndrome, and then we were also building a house. We bought the property she grew up on in Mound, Minnesota. That's where we currently live, which is on the west side of Lake Minnetonka. And so we built the house, had our first child, and then we had our second child right after Maeve. Maeve was the first child. Cecilia is our second child. Maeve is 6 now, and Cecilia is 5. And then shortly after Cecilia was born, my wife Janet's father passed away. And so I was home alone with 2 little girls in our new house, and so I wasn't sure what else to do except I opened child care. I got my license through Hennepin County, and I've been doing that now for the last 5 years. I think it's been 4 or 5 years. Been really interesting. Been great to be able to be home with my kids. I never imagined that I would be able to do something like that. But I've been loving it, and so now they're both starting school, and starting to think about what I might do now after I might be closing the daycare down in the next couple of years, and trying to think about what's going to be next for me. And I don't know. I got lots of ideas, but got to start acting on them, I suppose. But of course, I want to take a couple minutes to talk about our time at Cooper, what it meant to me, what I think about it, and I course, when I got the uh, invitation to the reunion, I was made me think about it, which, to be honest with you, I really don't think about Cooper times. I haven't much the last few years, and so I've been thinking about that, especially also meeting with the online world, making us closer and reconnecting on Facebook and that sort of thing. So, but I do look back fondly on my times back at Cooper. I think about all the fun that we had. It was just a lot of fun. And all the friends that I made, were good, honest friends, and just wanted to have good, honest fun. And a lot of you guys are just really cool people to hang out with, and really, I feel honored that you allowed me to hang out with you sometimes, because, who knows where you might end up with when you go through life sometimes. But a couple memories that occurred to me as I was thinking was, I'm pretty sure this was senior year for the marching band. We were marching, and you maybe not recall, but if you weren't in the marching band, but if you were, I'm sure you remember the big Q-tip hats we had to wear. They were dark navy blue or whatever that color was, and we had two majorettes, who I will not name because they know who they are. And they had big white Q-tips, which are even a little bigger than ours. And they were not. We brought them out, I think, to the field, because I don't think they normally wore them. But we brought them out to the field one of the games that we played at, and so we thought they were going to wear them, and then they came out in the field and they didn't wear them. And I remember, I don't know who it was, that there was Josh or Mark or Todd, I don't know who it was, but a couple of us tore off our Q-tip hats and flung them at the majorettes in the middle of the field. And I remember T not being very happy with us, but that's the way it goes. I also remember there was, of course, the time when we painted the warming house, which, the warming house, all you jocks and goof-offs who were out there painting that thing, I don't know how many times during the year. It was kind of nice to finally recruit and get some other music and drama lovers out there to that warming house one time, and put in some good, honest, and carefully thought out phrases up on there, like brass rules and Yoa, and I don't even remember anything else on there. I know I got pictures of it somewhere. Those will have to be shared sometime soon. And of course, the senior music album we did, Joseph, was just absolutely amazing experience. And to be in the band, and be up on the stage with the actors and have our own costumes, we wore those tunics, and kind of act out as kind of backdrops a little bit for the cast, was truly a great experience. And that just makes you think about Mr. Hermiting, and I can't really say or add anything to what I'm sure has already been said about him. I mean, it's a great loss that he's gone. But of course, we all have such great fond memories of him. But that was also made me think about the cast of Dracula. We did Dracula that year, and I don't know how I don't know how I got in that cast. I was the butler, as you may recall, Martin Butterworth. I spoke with a British accent, which that sounded more like Scottish, but anyway, I think I've lost my British accent. Anyway, I'm sorry if this is painful memories for some or not, but I just remember sitting in the backstage waiting for a certain kiss to be completed, and the kiss going on and on and on, and well, it ended, fortunately, soon enough. But I guess one clear memory I have is it wasn't the senior year. It was the year we went to Colorado. And I always think I think of this every time I hear the song, but I don't know if you remember, we were driving through Colorado, and I think it's called the Red Rock National Park, and somebody started the U2 tape, and we were all driving, just riding on this bus, going through this beautiful park, and Where the Streets Have No Name being played. and everybody just being really quiet and just watching. And it's really a beautiful memory for me. So I hope maybe some of you might remember that as well. So that's about it. I guess I finished with a couple things. Some things that are the same with me include, I still, as I said, play the trombone. I play at least once a week usually. I play in a group right now that rehearses down in Bloomington. But I also play with others. I'm available for weddings or funerals. So I also still have my 1964 Dodge Dart, my baby blue baby. I've always was determined to keep it, and I still have it. So I have pictures posted. You can see those. And then things that have changed. Well, not a whole lot, but I had to, in case you've been looking for me or whatever, I did change my name when I got married to George Matthew Linkert the Fourth. My dad was George, and I always wanted to have his name, and so I had the opportunity when I got married to become George. So oftentimes, most of my people that I deal with now call me George, except for my family, my wife, my parents, of course, still call me Matt, which is fine. And so that was kind of what I was going to say. It took a little longer than I wanted to, 11 minutes. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. And you could have stopped this 5 minutes ago if you didn't want to listen to this whole thing. So go Cooper Hawks, rah, rah. No matter if you win or lose, which of course we mostly lost, but that's the way it goes. I'll maybe talk to you again in 5 years. Bye-bye.